again, paranormal community. And thank you for partaking in this episode of the Odyssey Files. I am your host, Michael O'Neill. Not with me, once again, is my co-host, Mr. Anthony Hernandez, who I'm hoping will be back next week. That's the plan. So you'll just have to wait for then to hear his sterling research. With me, though, I'm very much looking forward to this conversation. I have been for quite a while, since I thought of it like a month ago. Got some amazing directors and lead investigators of paranormal teams around the Midwest. So I don't know any from out west or east. I should probably get on that eventually. But we have I have a series of questions for them, and we are going to have an amazing conversation of people who have been in the field for a long time. So without further ado, I introduce from Paranormal Investigators of North Dakota, we have Leilani. Good morning.
Good morning.
From Cat Paranormal, just south of the Twin Cities in Wasaka, we have the amazing Kimberly Juarez. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning.
And from here in the cities, we have Jerry. I'm just kidding. From the wonderful team of Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota, we have director and investigator extraordinaire, Mr. Jerry Ayers. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, Michael. And I do believe it's pronounced Wasika. Isn't that correct, Kimberly?
No, actually, he said it pretty good.
Did he really?
Native type, yes. Yes, usually people will say Wasika, but it is the way he said it.
It's Wasika?
Wasika. Yeah, because I think it's native. It's right, of course it's native. So I'm pretty sure that's how they pronounce it.
Wow. Well, you know
what? I was shocked when he said it. I was like, wow.
Next time, don't say that he was right. It's just...
Hold on. I have to see if it's here. Do I have it here? Please. Oh, I don't. Damn it. I have a soundbite that I recorded like 2-3 years ago, and it's of Ken Boggle just saying Michael's right. And so I like to play that every now and again because it drives people insane. Okay, so first, before we get into this discussion itself, I want all of you to, just introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your career and obviously the team that you were representing, so that people know that when you give your answers, you're not a crackpot that I pulled off the street. You guys all know I brought in people that I knew would know what they were talking about, and that's very important. So, Leilani, why don't you go ahead and go first? Ladies first.
Thank you. So, again, I'm Leilani. I'm with the Paranormal Investigations of North Dakota. Yes, I'm one of the investigators there. I've been with them since, I believe, like 2019, I want to say. So for a while, we are just a small team that investigates all around North Dakota. If you've ever heard of Minot, it's a very interesting little town where there's several tunnels coming through from Canada when we believe Al Capone did some of those tunnels in there, bringing stuff. But yeah, I've been with the team. I've known the owners a little bit before we joined and before I joined. And it's been just a great experience with them. And we've done all around North Dakota. And it's just been so great, the experiences we've had, and just really getting into, tapping into my senses of what we're doing and how we can help people. And, I feel like our team is very understanding of people's feelings and just making sure that we really make them feel, like understandable, because people have feelings, of course. But yeah, just that's kind of our experience, and we've always been just making sure that we, let people know how we're feeling when we do different things. But that's just kind of what we've done in North Dakota, and love to branch out a little bit, but just having those experiences with the team and doing all kinds of things. But that's what we've been doing, and I don't know anything else that you need from me.
How long has the team been around?
Oh boy, even before I did. So there was a team that was a little bit bigger, and then that I supposedly, this is before I came along, but the team wanted to start charging people, and so the owners Stephanie and Wendy, they didn't want to do that. They wanted to do this for people, and so they branched out. And so I don't know exactly how long it's been, but I want to say they at least 10 years before me. I would assume between 10 and 5 years before I joined. But that's as far as I know when I started.
Okay. Yeah. Kimberly, you're up.
I'm with, my name is Kimberly Wars, and I've been with Cat Paranormal for a while. It's been, I want to say it's almost 10 years, I want to say. I have a team down here and down in Waseca, Minnesota. We're south, close to the border of Iowa. And we've done a lot of cases. We strictly do private cases. I still do private cases. We haven't been much active lately because everybody's, of course, got their own lives and stuff like that. But again, I do private cases. We try to do cases more of the how can I explain? More of like, I know it seems pretty weird, but I do a lot of cases that are more into like, possession or demonic, or I like to get help from priests. I learn religion and I do a bunch of different things like that. And I know there's a lot of teams that don't touch things like that. So I kind of try to help people that do have those types of cases. What else? Also children cases. My daughters had night terrors when they were little, so we try to stay focused on helping children the most. What else? Michael, what else did you need to know?
How long you been around?
It's been over 10 years now. I've been into the paranormal since I was a child, though. I've had extreme night terrors, and saw my brother when he passed, like within days. I saw him immediately. So there was a lot of different things about me, and I guess I just was one of those quiet children and stayed focused on things like that. So I have a little bit of ability. I try not to focus too much on things like that unless I'm asked. And I think we've been out for quite a while. We still have the team together. We still get together. We still do events out here with the Waseca County Historical Society. So we'll be doing another event in fall. And so right now I'm in a different location with my job. So I'm in Plymouth right now. So that's why we haven't really done a lot right now, because I'm getting into work, and then I'll come back down and start doing things. So that's why I wanted to do your show, because got to get back in there,
Get back in.
Yeah.
Can't leave paranormal.
Yeah, can't.
Mr. Ayers.
Well, SIM, Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota, or SIM Crew, as we call ourselves, has been together now since 2010, so 16 years. Mostly paranormal, but recently, within the last 2 years and everything, we've turned towards cold cases, missing cold cases and everything, and that has been unbelievable. Where right now we just got a 6th case, which we're going to be working on. And next week we are actually meeting, which I am very excited about, with the murdered and missing Indigenous women in Minnesota. And I just can't wait to start up with that. There's so many things out there that we've seen, and it's weird is that people, they talk about seances. I don't like seances. My girls on my team, it's an all, well, I'm the only male on an all-girl team, I guess. And a seance, I don't like the name, so everybody started calling it the calling of the spirits. And only women do it. Guys don't. No, hey, you know what? When it starts giving you results and you're finding things that you wouldn't find any otherwise, why change it? Why put a different person? Don't you talk yet. It is my turn still. And but no, I'm pretty excited for my team. We're going to be going out of state also on a missing case from 1921 of a little boy in Wisconsin. So pretty excited.
The roll of my eyes was not for the seance itself. It was for the attempt to rebrand it.
Rebrand it? It's not
rebranding. You changed
Some
the
people,
name.
No,
That's a rebrand.
That's not really a rebrand. That's being comfortable with what you're doing, you know, with what you're involved in. Ladies, divert your eyes. Thank you.
I'm good with that, Jerry. It sounds, I'm good with it. I don't know. That's a good different way of saying, you know what I mean? It is a good different way.
Exactly. Thank you, hon.
Because okay, let's talk about this. When you talk about seance, you want to see somebody with their head thing and their magic ball and everything. Do you see what I mean? Right?
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
And holding hands and yeah. But when you have a group of girls that are doing something like that and they're getting, you know.
Yeah. There's different energy if a guy's involved with it, you know.
Right.
So letting women do it with the empathy and the more softer way, you know, you're going to get more out of it. You know, I feel, and we've already seen results. You know, I've asked many questions, nothing's come through. We have one girl who is the one that asks the questions and holds the ghost box. Next thing you know, when she said, I'm looking for Belinda Van Lith, and it came back immediately, leave her alone. And when she explained that she's been missing since 1975, and, you know, her sisters would like to know, then attitude changed and it was more open and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, great Mike, story. Attitude.
Yeah, great story. So let's move on.
Okay. Go ahead. It's your show, I guess.
Is it? Sometimes when you're on, I have a hard time figuring that out. So here is how this is going to play out. See, I have thought of all the questions. I did tell everybody what the questions are right before the show, so they don't. There's none of that where they have to think about it because, like I said, there's not like fluff questions here. So when I ask them, we're going to go. We'll start with Lenani. You'll answer first this question. Then we'll go Kim, Jerry. Then the next question will be Kim, Jerry, you. And I'm going to answer last every question. So, because I want your guys' opinions on these before I give out mine. And then once everybody answers, then we can have a discussion on anything that has been left unsaid, a point somebody made that they would like to respond to, you know, so on and so forth. And then we'll move on, obviously, to the next question. So, first question. With AI and tools and everybody wanting to post on YouTube everything that they either, you know, faked or is real, but they want to be, it's like subjective, whereas like somebody says, I just felt something touch my shoulder, you know, that sort of thing. With all of everybody posting everything that they can possibly think of, whether faked, hoaxed, whatever, do you find it difficult as a reputable paranormal team to be taken seriously or to have your evidence not fully scrutinized as, again, like being fake, as, you know, you're messing with stuff, like you're what the hell's the word when you prime somebody for what they're supposed to see, you know, that sort of thing. but like, how is it now for you? Like when you try to talk to people about cases and when you post evidence for the people, I guess, in society?
Yeah, so I feel like it is difficult nowadays days. Before when I first started with the team and everything, and I feel like we didn't get a lot of like pushback of some of the things that we've seen or heard, um, or any type of evidence we brought out. But now I feel like there's so many people that are trying to be popular or make a YouTube video, for everybody, and trying to be famous. We've always said that we're not doing this to be famous. We could care less, right? We're doing this to help people. But I do feel like, I know that through some of our investigations, we've had, backlash for us, saying that that's not right, or they're making it up, or, so I do feel like it's difficult. And I do feel like, people, because they want to be famous, they make things up, of course, and so it is really hard to, you know, put in there how you're feeling, or hey, a lot of times when we've had investigations and stuff, we've always asked, did you hear that, when we go live and those things, and sometimes we've heard where, oh yep, I did hear that, which helps us understand, okay, so we're not the only ones that are hearing this, which is great. And that's part of our investigation, is we want other people to hear and be part of our investigation as well if they want to be. But we have had backlash where people are like, we had a black mass in one time in one of our videos like go past us, and we didn't see it until later. But then when we went to our comments, some people saw it and some people didn't. And then we actually turned this video to I don't remember it was Wendy, one of our co-owners, sent this video, and the guy really pushed us off. Like it was like nothing. And we were like, well, we never saw it when we were there. Like, we only saw it when we, it went back. And the way that it was, we were like, that doesn't make sense. But we were like, okay, we're going to leave it alone. But I do feel like, especially with the AI, anybody can come up and be like, oh yeah, here's a mask behind me. They could make that up. So it is very hard for, people to believe what we're feeling, what we're seeing. And it is very difficult to be a group that's really presentable, and for people to really understand what the things that we go through when we do these investigations. So I do think AI is very difficult in what we're doing. And like I said, I do feel people are taking it a little bit more just to be famous, and that's not what we're here to do. And so it's hard to see those things when they happen. But again, you don't want to also take another team and be like, oh no, you're all faking it. You don't want to be like that. But I know that there are some, no naming names, right? But we don't want to do that. But it is difficult. I really believe that it's difficult nowadays to really have a reputable, team. So.
Kim?
I agree. I fully agree. It's hard enough for the paranormal, let alone let AI come and take, over so much crap out there. It's just so much. And it's not even, even just personal things, like photos and videos and stuff like that, let alone the paranormal. We already have issues trying to help people and trying to get things situated out there. That's we don't need to hear any more crap. I think it makes it hard. People use it all the time. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. I don't get it. We don't need to fluff our evidence. We don't need to do stuff like that to make people think that this is really like out there. There is enough crap out there. That's what we're here for. We're here to definitely, get into the paranormal and show our stuff the right way. There's plenty. I don't see why what the fluff and the whole AI thing is. I don't. I like it makes me mad because anything you will watch now, Bigfoot, cryptids, paranormal, spiritual, anything now with is AI. Is AI. You can't believe anything now. So it's bad enough for the paranormal world to just, when you put your real evidence out there and you're trying to get people to understand this is really happening. You don't need the fluff. You really don't need fluff. It's out there. Even the demonic cases, it's out there. You don't need that. You don't. And to bluff people that way, you don't. And you don't need a popularity. Like Leonie says, we're here to help people, not to make things fake. We don't need all that. It's bad enough we got social media and all that. It's not. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Kim. I mean, people will call us up and say, okay, well, this wasn't what happened to me, but this is what I feel it's going to build to. So I'm going to send you this YouTube video. It's like, don't, because I just don't believe it. It's like, I'm sorry, Mike, I know you're big on these shows out there. I watch none of them. In a way, it affects a person's mind where the first thing they say is, oh, I seen this one episode with Zach Bagans. It's like, okay, you just made me throw up in my mouth, Well, no, it was really interesting. No, it's not, no, it's bad. If we find something that we're not sure, oh, I'm getting motion sickness. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. What was I saying? It's so stupid when people put those videos out and claim them as real. If we have something we're not sure of, we will put it out to people and say, what do you both think this could be? Right. I mean, that's the thing right there. It's not saying we believe in it. What do you think of it? I mean, we've got enough videos where, with some of the girls on my team, like Stephanie and a couple of them, we were doing an old house, and all of a sudden the drawers opened up behind stuff, and that right away, she wasn't even touching it or anything like that. And after she's done, I said, I pointed at the drawer. She goes, oh, she slams it shut. And I go, you don't understand, And this lady was like, you guys told me not to tell you anything that was going on. That happens all the time. The drawers open up or the doors open up. It's like, holy shit, sorry. That's pretty cool. So
I can say shit.
But don't stop. There's ladies. But yeah, no, the AR thing is ridiculous. Because if you look at some of these videos, you'll notice that the person on there will have 2 left feet. That's because AI cannot replicate fingers, hands, or feet very well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know.
It's just ridiculous. Oh, yeah, AI. Anyway,
yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
I 100% agree with all of you. And to your AI point, or as you just put it, AR.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said AR.
Oh my God, I didn't mean that.
I know. That's
AR.
Fine. So, but I think that's probably the saving grace when it comes to AI is they can't do shit as well as what is like reality. There's always something that's wrong. Like I'm not even I watched a tornado video like 2 months ago or something like that. I thought it was amazing until I realized that as it went in between 2 houses, it didn't hit the ground. I'm like, oh, it's AI. There's always something you can pick out. So even if people try to use AI to be like, look at this spirit that I just saw, pop up and out of the room or something like that, there's something that's going to be wrong with it. It's not going to look right. So we have that going for us. But I think one of the issues that is so, I guess, not talked about is the misidentification. The people want to believe so hard that they've had a paranormal experience that they've caught, that they put it out without without realizing or even looking into what it is. I've had several people, like potential clients, be like, something going on in my house. Look at this baby monitor video, or whatever that I caught, and there's some audio on it. I'm like, that's a really horrible microphone. Like that could be anything that just sounds different on this, obviously like $3 microphone. I remember there was a guy at a con that came up to me, had a video of an SLS, which I hate. I really hate the SLS. But you could tell that the figure he was trying to show me was going up the wall and the body was like turning along the ventilation system. So you could tell it was mapping out something that wasn't actually there, but because of the way the room was situated, it was putting a stick figure on. And I told him this. I'm like, this is a good video. I'm like, but you see, he didn't really seem to take that very well. And like an hour later, I saw him showing the video to somebody else.
Nobody takes it very well.
No, and I get, unless you're an investigator who wants that opinion.
Right.
I've put out evidence, and just like Jerry, just like you said, what do you guys think of this? Or we don't know if this is paranormal or not. What do you guys think? And if somebody comes back with this is what it could be, hey, absolutely. In fact, that did happen to me. I have a video of this weird string thing spinning around, and I showed it to Grant Wilson when we were on a Prague trip a couple months back. And he's like, I think I know what that is. And he looked it up, and then it's some balloon spider or something like that does a web that looks like it. And I was like, oh, I'll take that off the list. I mean, I would rather my evidence that if I'm misidentifying it, I would rather know that that's not correct, and then I can remove it and not do it anymore.
Right.
I think that's the difference between investigators and the people who want the clicks. The people who, when you go and you're like, that's dust. And they're like, no, it's not. It's all this. And this was going on at the time. But I'm like, it's dust.
I'm sorry, Mike. I was recently on a show. It was Expedition X. They called me up because they had a case that was about a
Wendigo.
Well, thank you for saying it. And it was a case that we had back in 2019. And I told them, number one, I refuse to say that name. I will not say it. And they said, okay, well, we got our writers have a thing for you to, I said, so it's scripted? And they said, yeah. And I said, absolutely not. I am not going to do a scripted show. And they ended up, I got kind of a little upset and stuff because they were going to pay me for this plus bonus. And I said, okay, you guys, let me do it my way on how it happened. And then you tell me if you like it or not. So these two investigators they had, one was from Seattle and the other one was from Arkansas. Neither one had ever investigated before. They didn't know anything. They didn't know what that thing was or anything. And as I was telling them the story about what happened and stuff, number one, I'm in northern Minnesota, and they said, give them the what was the word? Remember, Mike, we talked about coordinates of where this is at. I said, you're in northern Minnesota, man. It's like, give them the directions, Okay, well, tell them when they go into the forest. I go, forest? We don't have that over here. It's called the woods. I'm going to say it my way. So when I was telling them, I said, when you get to the woods, before you go in, take out your phone, call your family, because you'll probably never be seen again. And it was like, that was the max thing. You're going to chase something like this. And I did not know it at the time, but there was 2 cases of the thing out there on that property back like 4 or 5 years ago. And it was an incredible thing. And when I found out about it, and then it was funny what one of the investigators said. I said, "Do you know nothing about the native stories and everything?" And he goes, "Well, I was going to talk to that guy over there." I go, "What guy?" He said, "Right there, the Indian." I go, "What did you just say?" Because I was like blown away that he said that. I said, "He's Italian. You got to know who you're talking to, man." So I did give him some connect and everything and told him a few things. I said, but I guess when they went into the woods, things were happening and they were throwing kinnick around like they were feeding chickens. And it's like, no, you got to do an offering, this still. I said, he knows you're there. He's coming after you. Plain and simple. But I guess they had to pretty much scrub that whole part of them going in there because the fear factor was way too much for them. They pretty much ran out, but it was interesting.
Way to be a fear monger there, Jerry.
Well, it's the truth. If you're going to go looking for something like that, it wasn't what I expected. I wasn't expecting this. It's coming out in the fall. Yeah. So look for me.
I won't have to. You'll be posting that shit all over Facebook. So I'll just watch it that way.
Well, no, Stephanie will and the team, but that's fine.
So I think we're in a general consensus that trying to be a legitimate, real paranormal team and put stuff out there for the public to consume is a little bit more difficult than it used to be.
Exactly. It's not being a ghost hunter. You have to be a paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I think the thing that gives me the most comfort or solace or whatever is that I don't care what people say about my evidence. I'm not in this to entertain. That's what you said, Kim.
Right.
I'm not in this to entertain. I'm in this to help people. I will put stuff out there that people might find entertaining, but that's not my job. It's not my job to put something out there and then try to have to defend it later.
Right.
So I guess it goes to, how much you want to be liked, maybe by strangers and whatnot. And if you care about clicks or not, which I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Which sure probably hurts me more than anything, because it always seems to be the people with the clicks are the ones that get the cases, and the people who are like, I'm here ready to help you for free and no BS are like, I don't want that guy. So anything else to expound upon on this one? Nope. Okay.
No, I just hate AI.
So do I. Yep.
Ridiculous.
That's it. We're getting rid of it.
AI has its place in society, not so much because AI is based off, I don't want to say facts, but it's based off like what people post, whether it's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it tries to get its facts straight, but now you're dealing with a field that deals in theory and I don't want to say assumptions, but I mean, we don't have facts yet when it deals with that. So I don't think AI should have any sort of input into what it is we should or should not be doing. Okay, question number 2. If, and Jerry and I discussed this 2 weeks ago, so you're going to hear Jerry's answer again. I'll simplify mine when it's my turn, but I would like to hear, obviously, Nani's and Kim's answer to this. If, during the course of a private investigation, you come across information that would be upsetting or emotionally damaging, I would say, to the client, when it comes time to do the reveal and tell them about your case, do you withhold that information from them? And as a second part, if the information comes from a medium during like their walkthrough, their impressions, whatever, but it cannot be confirmed through regular research type of efforts, do you withhold that from the client? And Kim, you're first.
I think it depends. So, like, I've had past cases where we had to hold within the evidence before the fact is we needed to do more research. We needed to do more research. And so I would kind of procrastinate a little bit on a case because I didn't want to say something and all of a sudden they're like, what do you mean? Because then people get so overwhelmed. They get so overwhelmed and they get nervous. They get scared. They get, oh my God, what are you saying? Do I do this? They get too more into it than what they're trying. You got to fix it. We're trying to fix it. But then when you're telling them, well, this is haunted and maybe this is, well, what do you, I don't understand. It gets to the point where it's so overwhelming. Sometimes you got to know exactly what you're dealing with to explain the case the right way. You know what I mean? Like, how do I explain it? Like I don't hold with evidence. I just need to research more. I need to know more. I need to know more about the place, who's died, who's lived, who's there. Because then the client just gets overwhelmed and gets worried and more scared, thinking, oh my gosh, I don't wait too long to procrastinate. I don't try to procrastinate as much. But when it comes to something so sensitive, I don't want to overwhelm the client. I really don't. And I just know that you can even feel the vibe on the client. You would know exactly. But majority of the time you would want to be very, very truthful. And but like in other cases, if you don't know much and you're trying to say something, sometimes I even have to sit there and say, well, let's get some more evidence. Let me do a little research over here. Let me do a little research over there. I've had plenty of cases where I've been in all the time. Like, I'm pretty sure Jerry and Mike, or Liani, you guys understand, because I don't know how many times we've gone onto a case and the person still has this, okay, we need to relax. We need to, let's stay focused. You know what I mean? I don't know. So yes, I think that sometimes if you don't know everything, I think you better do some research before you tell your client anything. I really believe that. So yes, I think sometimes we need to withhold not everything, but just to get your research done the right way before we tell the client anything. Did I answer that right?
Yeah, if that's your opinion, absolutely.
Okay.
My turn, right? Or is it Jerry's?
It's Jerry.
Okay.
It's Jerry. Well, we have had cases like that where we've, we figure that it's way too much by the state of mind that the client is in, and we will withhold it. Our first reason for going out there, number one, other than research, is because we're there for the spirit first. But when we run across something like that, that can really change the living badly. So it's like, no, we're going to leave that out. But we're going to make sure that when we do the clearing, the cleansing and everything, that we better know what we're doing on this. And if we have a psychic that has gone through, like we did one time, I did let the psychic know, you can go ahead and say it, but the thing is, you don't know for sure. You don't know for sure. This is what you see. This is not what the team sees. Even though they're part of a team, you can't just, say that the team's going to back you on this because it's what you see. I know that sounds kind of harsh and almost like we're separating everybody, but yeah.
Jerry, just to say, I've had psychics where they are talking about something totally different than what we're there for.
Yep.
You know, like I get it, you're the spiritual part of it, but some things on the psychic thing, sometimes it's not good to
It's
bring
like,
them along because you got to stay focused on what we're there for, to help this client
exactly.
and to help the spirit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. A certain psychic, which Kim, I'm not going to mention their name,
Mhm.
but had gone with us one time on a case. And right away, they're looking at each other and they're like, it's alien. I know it's alien. I can feel it. So you've got spirits here. You have aliens here. There is
Yep.
some demons here. I'm like, are you crapping on me? What is this? It's
Yeah.
like, no, you can't. And these people were, kind of already a little bit iffy, but yeah, we haven't worked with them again. But no, you've got to be careful because
You do.
some people are not really, they're not glued the same as other people. And why ruin their beliefs in their family and stuff?
Mhm.
And just as long as we're helping them, we're also helping the spirit too, to help the spirit get across.
Mhm.
That's where you sit down, like Bobby Sullivan. He's like one of the best I've ever seen of getting rid of not getting rid of, but helping people to cross.
Give me a second here.
What,
Right.
what are you doing, Mike? What are you doing? You're playing with string?
Mhm.
Oh, I don't think he can hear us.
Good. Here we go.
Okay. No. All right. So if you guys talk, can you hear yourselves through my microphone? Is there an echo at all?
There was just a little one. Yep, right now there is.
Yeah, I just heard that.
Yep.
Just a little bit. It's not too
All
bad.
right.
I think it's a demon. We should exorcise it out of you, Michael. Oh,
Stop
Lord.
talking, Jerry.
What?
I said stop talking. All right. Well, then here's what I'll do. I'll let that charge a little bit. My headphones died. I don't know where my other pair are. I'll turn my mic off when you guys are talking so it doesn't come through, and I'll still be able to hear you. So yeah, Jerry, you done? Is it nice time?
Yeah.
No, I was just curious because I'd taken my headphones off for a minute there.
Right.
Okay, so for me, or our team as well, I feel like it depends as well. We like I said, we really are there to help people, not to scare them or feel like that it's them. So I feel like it really depends. Like Kim said too, she does a lot of the um double checking, afterwards, getting more information. We kind of do that beforehand too, so we really tap into the location, the land, the whole thing. But we have, not told people things right away, and it's like, okay, I think we need to wait on this, we don't need to let them know. But I also feel like too that we've told others, like, hey, this is what we have seen and what we have felt, and through our investigations, um, if something else happens, we're more than happy to come back, and help, for other things as well. But I really think that, I feel like some people are not exactly really as intuitive as we are, and so we have to be careful with that because we don't want to scare them. We don't. They do need to live, right? Just like the rest of us. I feel
Right.
like if we tell them, they're going to be living scared, and we don't want that. So, like I said, we are here to help them, and we can try to do that. But yeah, I feel like if there's some things that we have to keep from them for now, unless there's other things that happen, and like we said, they said too, do some more investigating, get some more information. But we've always told people, we don't ever say it's haunted. We just say, here's
Right.
our evidence, you know, and this is how we feel, but we will never tell anybody, well, we think, yeah, your place is haunted, or this is haunted, or you have an attachment, or anything like that. We try to be very helpful in those situations. So I feel like it does depend on who it is. And what we can say, but we will hold back information if we have to, for the sake of their probably mental state as well, because we don't want people to go too crazy. But I feel like that's what we do as well.
All right. I am honestly shocked that I'm going to be in the minority here. I honestly am. I mean, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with any of your answers. I mean, that I get all of your points, 100%. It's just, I guess I've never saw any case, and this is obviously probably going to go to the differences in clients. Like I've had clients who've been scared. I've had clients who've contacted me right from the start, and like, I just need this out of here. Like we're scared, we're terrified, whatever. We don't know what's going on. We just want this gone. And that's right from the start. But I've never felt like anybody couldn't handle something. I've been very uncomfortable revealing it, but like to me, it's always been, I'm not here to play yes or no. Like I'm not here to decide what is important and what isn't. And if something comes up that is pertinent to my case, it needs to be said. So that doesn't mean that there's a lot of sugarcoating around it. And I've always been a very huge proponent of, and I think you guys are going to agree with me at this, that the one thing that people are scared the most of is what they don't understand. Right. It's what they don't know. And so to me, if I let them know, even if it's different or unsettling or anything like that, as long as I guess have a solution to it, I want to say, like, as long as it's not like, here's what's going on, sorry this happened, see you later. Like, it's never anything like that, and you guys are the same way. And so I've always come to believe that as long as they know what is going on and they know that they're not alone in this and they know we're not leaving until something gets solved, I have found that people have been very, very accepting of whatever I've had to tell them. And even if it's come from a medium, I say, this is what our medium has seen. Does this mean anything to you? Because that's the one thing I think we miss is, yes, a medium may come up with this and that, and it might not even be like all that researchable. Like, Jerry, I don't know if you mind if I use the example you used 2 weeks ago with your case. But I mean,
say it, then I'll tell you. No.
Better to ask for better to apologize after the fact than ask permission. But I mean, for Jerry's case, the information he came out that he wouldn't is that the husband had an affair. You know, and how do you research that? You can't, unless you actually talk to the living mistress or whatever, and she comes clean. I mean, so why can't you say that, but to say, this is what our medium came to. We obviously haven't been able to confirm it, but what do you feel like this is something that could have actually happened?
Well, that too, you're putting yourself up to a lawsuit if you cannot prove that. You know,
yeah, because you don't know how would it,
No, I'm not. It's not public knowledge. Like, what would they sue me for? Like, accusations?
For defamation of character.
But it's not in public. I'm not defaming him.
You are to his family.
All I'm doing is saying this is what our medium came up with. We don't know if it's true or not. Therefore, I'm not.
Still don't want to throw her or him under the bus. You shouldn't say that unless you.
I've had a case like that. I've had a case like that, you guys, and she believes that that's not what it was, and I believe it was, because I know I felt it. I'm the one that that asked him, and he told me, yeah. And there was a case that way. And she, nope, nope, nope. And I think, to me, I don't know, that's like their personal, but it was bringing too much into the home, I think, where it was causing issues, because she was very emotional inside, and it was causing things for her to see things. And, I don't know, it was too deep. Do you understand what I'm saying? It came out to be too deep in a sense. So I had to kind of cut it off to say, this is what you guys have to work on. If this is what you want to do, you guys have to work on it, and to help her. Because I think sometimes as women, we have very strong emotions and may cause things to happen around us, or to think that things are happening around us, So, I mean, although they had some pretty good evidence, they did have some good evidence. And maybe that was the attraction to her, because she was very emotional. So a lot of spirits were coming towards her, in a sense. You know what I mean? I had to not think too deeply into it, in a sense, like to be careful, in a sense. And even to ask the question was a little hard too, because I didn't want them to think I was prying, but I felt it. I knew something was going on. I knew it. And it was more than just spiritual ghosts. It was actually her bringing on. And I could feel it. I could, like, even talking about it. So I know, in a sense, you have to cut off certainties to not overwhelm the clients, so they can work on themselves and be able to work on themselves when it comes to stuff like that, And I don't know, it was pretty hard, difficult case. It wasn't too long ago of a case, and it was very, very, very difficult just to know. And they were good people, very good people. So I'm just saying, I don't know if it helps, but in a sense, sometimes it's hard to say, should we tell them? Should we talk about this? Should we, it is hard, in a sense, because you don't want to overwhelm the client, especially her. She was already going through a lot, So
I'm not saying that we need to be mean about it, or we need to
Right,
throw
right.
it in their face. But I mean,
Right.
if done and explained correctly, like
Right.
to me, we have these solutions. We all, whether it's a cleansing, whether it's a compromise, like, hey, you need to leave alone, and in a sense, they'll leave you alone, blah blah blah.
Right.
Or in the case of adult, the adultery or whatever, how do you help the spirit if, for whatever reason, the upsetting piece of information is what is bringing the person there? How do you throw that into the solution without telling why it is, and how can they make the decision of like what they want to do if they don't know all the information?
Right.
And it's a very, very, very difficult. And I don't think a lot of people understand the difficulty in the decisions that paranormal investigators have to make, especially when it comes to the solution. Because I think you guys can agree with me that the client is their own worst enemy.
Agree.
Always.
Agree.
Whether
Fully.
they're stuff from you, whether they're lying about things, whether they won't take your solution, or you do your solution. Like, I'm a big compromise person. Like, most of the cases that I have, it's like a former homeowner, somebody who doesn't really mean any harm. And so you separate them, you get the activity to stop, and everybody's happy. At least that's the way it always goes with me. But I have had times where I've done that, and then like 3 weeks later, I find out they went and did something stupid that like completely negated what the deal that I set up. And now the activity's back worse than ever. But again, I don't think they can make that decision or know what is going on if we're keeping stuff from them. Like, it's I don't think it's my job to decide what they know and what they don't. I'm brought in to make them understand what is going on and to get them answers. And if that's the answer, unfortunately, that sucks. But that's the answer that I have for them.
Right.
But again,
Yeah.
I get all your points, and you're absolutely right. And I guess it's a case by case basis.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just haven't had that. I have had an upsetting case. I just had one. I really did not want to do that reveal, like at all, but I had to do it. And again, and it was based off medium impressions. But other things that she was saying made sense. So I'm like, okay, here's what she found. Take it with a grain of salt. Take what you know of your history and see if this makes sense to you. But we're not saying that this is 100% the case. I'm just presenting it to you that she presented to us. And I don't want to say they weren't irritated, but they rightfully were upset as well. Like, it was not good information, but honestly, they took it like a champ. And I mean, they had their questions. We answered them. That was a huge thing. And in the end, they took the cleansing, and I haven't heard a word since. Although I really do need to reach out. So, I mean, I guess there's obviously different ways of doing it. I don't think that keeping stuff from clients is what I should be doing. But again, maybe I haven't had those cases yet. Anybody else have anything to add to this? Nope. Okay. Look at that. 2 questions in, and we're only an hour. Told ya. This actually should be a pretty quick one. Jerry, you're up first on this one.
Oh.
In your experience, do you think religious beliefs play a role in the client experiencing activity in general? Such as, like, have you ever had an agnostic client? Have you ever had a Hindu client? They have certain religions obviously have certain beliefs when it comes to the supernatural. And do you think that plays a role in either A, they experience paranormal activity in general, or B, classify it? Because, obviously the cynic is going to throw everything out the door. Doesn't matter what it is. Abraham Lincoln could show up right in front of him, and he would probably think it was he accidentally ate some shrooms and was hallucinating. I mean, they're going to find a natural explanation for everything, no matter how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
But do you think the religious beliefs part of it plays a role in general?
Right.
Jerry.
We had a potential client call us up to, they were telling us things were going on and everything. And they used a certain word I haven't heard. I don't remember what it was. And I said, what exactly is that? I said, may I ask you, your accent first off? And they said, yes, Somalian. I said, okay. I said, I don't know a lot about the Somalian religion or anything like that. I know it's the Quran. I know that there's only one person ever wrote the Quran. It has not been duplicated like the religions around here, 5 to 10 times, whatever it was. They said, yeah. I said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, They said, well, what about smudging? I said, okay, what are we asking about smudging? Is that going to get rid of everything? And I said, well, again, your belief system is a little bit different. So with what we could say could help and everything, in your eyes may not help, or that you won't see what it is because it's not what you believe in. Do you guys know what I mean by that?
I do.
Right.
I do. Completely do.
So I said, I don't think I'm the right person. Let me see if I can find somebody. And Kim, you were on my list but you weren't home. I can't remember. I think you were out in California or something like that.
Mhm.
And I thought of Mike, and I thought, no, I'm not going to call Mike, because you guys don't know what he's like. When if you give him a bad case, you never hear the end of it,
Oh, no, hold on. You haven't given me bad cases. You've given me insane cases.
But some of these insane cases have come back to us again 6 months to a year later that turned out to be unbelievable cases. They've been really good. So you got to help anybody and everybody
Right.
as much as you can. Right, ladies?
Right.
Can I get a woot woot?
There you go.
But no. Oh, Michael, yeah, you. But no, I told them, I said, I will look around. And I couldn't find anybody a few days later. And I called them back and I said, I'm sorry. I said, I think the best is to go to your church, or I don't even know what they called it. I said, and ask people to help you. And he said, yeah, I think you're right. And I said, I'm very sorry. This is something I'm going to have to look into a little bit more. I said, so thank you for opening my eyes to a new religion that I never thought about.
Jerry, I'm going to add a little something to the question. So,
Man.
It occurs to me that during your answer that this might be applicable, but adding to the question, do you think it's possible? Like, if you're talking about spirits in general, does somebody's religion in solving it actually matter? Like, if there's a spirit of, like, let's just say your Somali people moved into a home, and the former homeowner was, some white guy, from back in the 40s or whatever. Does the fact that they're Somali really have anything to do with you being able to investigate?
No, it doesn't whatsoever. But the thing is, their belief system may be, that's why needing to know what their belief is in the paranormal, that's what you really need to know. You just can't jump in and, try to learn as you go. You got to know what you're talking about.
Well, I guess maybe this is a better way of phrasing it is, does the fact that a person is of a Catholic belief stymie them from helping somebody who is of a Somali belief?
No, I don't believe so. Oh God, Kim, you're going to hate me. I know you're Catholic, Kim. I am, a lot of religions I don't believe in. I'm sorry, Kimberly, it's not about you. You're awesome. I love you dearly.
Kim, you look like you're chomping at the bits.
I know she's going to run over here. I moved and now she doesn't know where I live. So I'm safe.
No.
First,
this is a great question. I'm going to load you guys hardcore. So get going, Jerry. Come on.
No, the thing is I take a look at things of the past, and why can't people of the past say, or apologize for things that they have done? Stephanie and the team of Cryptid Chicks were up in Canada, and they were on the reservation, and they actually brought them into one of the residential schools, and one actually opened up about things that happened there. And it's like, why? No one's ever gone there to say, I'm sorry for what happened. And I myself, like my brother Jimmy, who's in a nursing home, and all of a sudden he's found religion, which is fine with me. That's great, but I don't understand you have to dress to the nines to go. Some will even take attendance. Why weren't you in church before? No, the gold factor. Why? wasn't Christ a carpenter? And why would you need all this gold up and everything? And then I just don't understand that part. And I believe that a person like, I bought Steph a t-shirt one time, and I really believe it, that my church is in the woods. It is with nature. It is with trees, with animals. It is everything together. I've changed a lot, Kim, in the last few years. And I have, Mike. I've learned to hate you a lot more.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're evolving, Jerry.
I love you. I have evolved, quite a bit. A lot of stuff has happened and stuff. But I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, there's, I believe in God, but yet I don't believe in the Bible being changed that much.
It makes you a Christian. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You're a Christian, Jerry.
Sometimes Christians, like the ones you see helping Donald Trump are not, I'll go on a different bender here.
Oh, one you won't. Not your turn.
Yeah.
Playing the opera and playing the
Good job, Jerry. Good job. Woo!
Yes.
Thank you. Love you, Kim. Squeeze.
Let's read the last comment. I love it.
That's right.
There you go.
All right. Nani, you're
Okay, so I want to first just say I feel like religion, to me, I feel is like a little bit different now than it was many years ago. I feel like I just want to say that. So many years ago, I feel like yes, that would be a factor. Now I feel like it's evolved where a lot of religions are kind of going into other religions. I feel like they're kind of trying to all be one is kind of how I'm feeling like how it is nowadays. So I feel like it's a little bit different. So like nowadays I feel like, I feel like most people are really feeling like if they are wanting our opinion, they're going to take it, whether the religion, what religion they are. And some people believe, some people don't. For those that don't believe, they're not going to be calling us, right? Like that's just how I feel. I don't think that they'll be calling us because they're not going to hear what we want to, they're not going to listen to what we say or our evidence. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in a nutshell. That's why I wanted to point that out. Like, I feel like, many years ago, it was different. This day and age, I feel like people listen, whether what religion they have, and because of the, just involve of, the years have come through or the years have passed. I just feel like, yes, original religion has some part, but most people, if they're calling us, they want to hear whether they're Christian or other Catholic, Mormon, whatever they are. So that's just mine in a nutshell. So I was trying to hurry up and go quickly because I know we're running out of time. So that's kind of where I feel, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
lay it on us.
Okay, so here we go. Religion is very important when it comes to the paranormal because it helps the client a little bit. So I always tell them, like, if I have a case and it goes over and stuff, but I do want to talk about like a Hindu case. Okay, so I have had one, and this particular client went back to India, stayed some time, and came back. All of a sudden, they had started with this paranormal stuff. Little girl was seeing this creature like in the basement. The woman was feeling like something coming over her and pressing down on her and actually like filling on her. And it was really overwhelming to the point where she got up and started screaming. So I asked the client, because of course, she was an American and he was Hindu. He came from India. And right away, they believe in a creature like a jinx, I want to say, like one of those little creatures that would come around. And what do they call them, Jerry? They're a jinn. Jinn, yeah. They're jinn. So they have some beliefs, and that's what I think the little girl was seeing, because we caught it. I see it I didn't even ask her or nothing, and I went downstairs and I immediately seen it, and I could see it through a picture and everything, even though it kind of just a little bit disco. And for some odd reason, I don't know why I was gravitating to this closet, and I started taking this picture down in the basement. Later, the little girl tells my daughter, well, I see this creature and it's in the basement and it's in this closet. I was like, no way, no way. So I asked him, have you gone anywhere in a while? And he said, well, yeah, I went to India. I'm from there, I'm from my country. I was there for about a month. And I said, and I just need to ask you privately, what did you do? What did you do out there? Were you in places that you shouldn't have been? Right? And sure enough, yeah, he was. So he brought something with him. To me, that's how I felt, that he brought something with him, and the wife was feeling it. And I'm not kidding. He had something over him. Like, I was even afraid to look at him, and it became more possessive than anything. I don't even want to say the word, but it is the D word, so I had to tell him and her that, I went ahead and saged for them, because he said, well, what could I do to get rid of it? Because it's scaring my wife, whatever. I said, well, you need to detach. You need to go to your religion and tell them what I'm telling you, because you have to detach whatever it is that's in your religion, so that way you believe, so that way you can get rid of this thing. I can sage for you, but I don't think it's going to completely get rid of. You need to go to your religion and let them help you. And yeah, sure enough, that's what he did. And Jerry, I think you were going to come with me. You were going to come with me, but it ended up to be something like that. I even want to say it was in Plymouth somewhere, close to Plymouth. But so yes, I think it's very important to know your religion. I think it's very important, like, especially with crosses. And Jerry, I'm, on the question about being a Catholic girl, I'm not as like a Catholic holy roller type anymore.
No,
And the only reason why I don't do it anymore, because I saw some things that weren't right in my beliefs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, in my beliefs. And so I took so I've been a little holy roller since the beginning. Like, I was Pentecostal, I was Christian, I was Catholic girl since the beginning, baptized Catholic, baptized Christian. So I learned, and I think it's very important for clients for them to go back, so that way they can get some relief and some help through God, in a sense, to help them. I try my best, other than doing the cleansing and doing like the holy water and stuff. I try my best to tell the client they need to go back into it to help them, because there's some people you just can't help, and sometimes they need that belief back, in a sense, and that's what I believe in. That's what but yeah, I believe sometimes you do. You sometimes need that. Other than that, I mean, you got Jerry, you got, we can help by saging and doing whatever we can, to help them. And I think sometimes, like, even when I did sage, it helped a lot for that little girl. It helped a whole lot, because she was seeing, and the parents didn't even know. She told us like a secret. So, I mean, come on, it was frightening the little girl. It was going to get close to her, and that's not good. That was not good at all, this creature. Mm-hmm. And I think I even talked to Michael Schrader about this, Jerry, when we started talking to Michael Schrader. Yeah, the Reverend. Exorcist. Yes, and I asked him, what do I do? Because this is the case that's coming up. And it was demonic. So I'm sorry, Michael. But yeah, it was a bad case, and that little girl saw something that the mother was seeing, and it was because whatever he was doing out in India brought it back, and it was a creature, like, just letting you guys know.
Yep.
So
We can't hear you, Mike. Thank God.
That's actually probably not that bad of a move.
No.
I'll just say it was sarcastic. So, but so I keep going back, no matter what the case, and I've told this to people, but one of the greatest statements that I've heard about the paranormal, especially if it comes to a negative entity, like a demonic entity, came from Chris Fleming. I don't know if you all know who that is.
Yeah.
Who
Chris
was it
Fleming?
again? Oh,
Chris Fleming.
Yes.
Yes, you know who that is.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the best way to stay off like a demonic entity is to know who you are inside and out, to be firm in who you are, because it's too much of an effort on their part to try and break you.
right.
And so I think that comes to some people, not necessarily to me or maybe even Jerry, but and maybe this, and I don't know if a lot of investigators are like this or not, but I don't particularly need religion in order to know who I am. But I know there's a lot of people, especially clients, who like that is the backbone of who they are.
Right.
And the thing about it is regardless of what it is, I don't think when it comes to the other side that matters. You know, whether God exists or not is answered. Like faith becomes fact when you're on the other side. So the fact of if anybody is Hindu or Buddha or Catholic or Lutheran, if you're trying to connect with the other side in a case, I don't know if religion has anything, or belief, faith, whatever, has anything to do with how you react to that. But again,
Well,
I'm still talking, Jerry. Shut up.
what a dick.
Really? Did you not do that to me earlier in the show? Anyway.
Boys.
Listen to him. He's terrible.
A lot of testosterone flowing around right now. Anyways, but that also goes like with agnostics. I mean, if you're not raised or you don't believe in anything past this life, I don't think you're going to allow yourself to deal with the paranormal at all. I remember great show, The Dead Files. Obviously not on, but it is Steve DeShavi. Obviously hardcore military cop, homicide detective out of New York. Hard as shit. And I remember a joke being played or being kind of said that if anything followed him home and like tried to mess with him, like he would just be like, leave me the F alone, and then like would turn over and go back to sleep. Like he's just, I got no time for that shit.
Right.
And I think that plays the fact of people being open to it. If you're Catholic, if you're Lutheran, if your religion says that there is something on the other side, you're going to allow yourself to experience something from the other side. Whereas if you're like, this is it, once I die, I'm done. It's darkness and life moves on. You're not going to have time for a ghost throwing something at you or footsteps going down the hall or knocks on the wall. You're gonna be like, that's annoying as shit. And you're probably going to call somebody in to, put more insulation in or something like that. So, I mean, I guess to my own question, yes, it does play a role, but in both directions.
Right.
And yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it right there. But does anybody have anything more that they would like to say? Because Jerry, I told you to shut up. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
No.
I just think I'll help you, Jerry. I just think
Thank you.
When we're trying to help a client in that sense, this is just a relief for them. Because remember, when you're young and you grow up with a religion and stuff, and then your mama always tells you, baby, just pray, honey, and sometimes we need that. Sometimes we just need to sit there and say, you know what, maybe you should go back into, your Christian ways or your Hindu ways or we're trying to help them to relieve. I mean, I think I did a good job to help that little girl, because it was obviously bothering her, and I didn't want it to, ever overwhelm her like it did the mother. Do you know what I mean? Like, be in her bed and it just, boom, and I'm not even wanting to say demonic, because these are little creatures. They're on their own, there's these little creatures that are out there, and I know they are. And I don't even want to say, but they can do things and I wanted to help that little girl when she was secretly telling them. So sometimes I think that even like, honey, you pray in the angels, or here's some monster spray, or that's what we did. We actually told her, here, honey, this is some monster spray. So if you ever think that there's something's around you, just use this spray, and it helped her, because it's something, pray over it, whatever, add a little holy water and some sage, you know what I mean? You're just trying to help the client as best as you can. And when it comes to religion, sometimes it can relieve. It can, because then there's the people that don't have anything. What are they going to do? They're not going to believe in the sage or in anything else. What are they going to do? They don't have nothing to believe in. So we have to say, do you ever pray? Do you ever, God is all in us. Have you ever looked for God? You know what I mean? Because there's nothing for them. And what do we do? What do we do? We can't just let them sit there. Well, let me sage for you. Let me do this for you. You may not believe in it, but let's go around and have a belief so we can clear out your home. So I'm just saying, it just helps to say, hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
Anybody else? Nope. All right. I'm going to actually skip over the next question.
What was the next question, out of curiosity?
Do you want me to actually say it?
Yeah, say it. That's what I asked.
All right. How do you determine whether a case is a haunting or has actual activity and mental health?
You can see that. Oh my God. Kim, did you come with us once on a case that the people were out back smoking crack?
Jerry.
Well, no. This is funny. Okay, so Jerry and Michael, we've done cases together.
Yep.
And we've had some pretty good case. I mean, some pretty.
Right.
We've even had where a client would go to Jerry after they came to me and went to Jerry, and they're just because they're not satisfied. Yeah. So Jerry even had to call me one time and say, hey, this case? And I said, yeah, Jerry, so there's some problems in a sense because it's overwhelming. So there's that.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have asked that one.
Nothing to do with that
No,
question.
I will never take somebody's case. If I call them up, they say, oh, well, so-and-so was taking the case. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to tread on it. Yeah, let me call them up and let them know. I mean, that's just being nice. You know what? You stay out of our conversation there, you mister. Okay, what's the next question?
No, it was just because we agreed on what we were saying. So that's what it was.
Right. Yeah, I know. I just got it. Don't let him know what we're doing.
Yeah, no. Again, great stories. Moving on. So this is the one that you're excited for, Kim. So I want to make sure we get to it. Which do you think, and Nani, we're back to you again to go first, but which do you think is going to be the key to unlocking the other side or the supernatural, science or spirituality?
Oh boy. That's a hard question for me. To me, I feel like, there's so much that all the new stuff that has come out. I feel like it's crazy, but I don't know. This one's a hard one for me. I feel like see, I don't even know. I'm like trying to figure out words. Words are hard, I guess, today.
You want it to come back to you?
Yeah, let's come back to me. Let me think about it, because that one's when you said it the first time, I was like, oh boy. So yes, yeah, move on to someone else and I'll keep thinking.
All right. Kim, you're excited about this question, so go ahead.
The only reason why I'm excited about this question is because I was thinking the same question. I was thinking about the same idea. Because I thought, that'd be a great question to ask about scientific. Science, I don't know what, they just don't believe in us. They don't believe anything. They have to have their scientific way, and they have to show. They make rubber chicken now. Come on, guys. They're not the whole scientific analysis and what they believe in, and they don't believe in the paranormal, and they don't. I think they have to have their own experience, and these people are those type of people that it has to be a science way, a science. There's just no. I mean, come on. They're just science. I get it. It's useful. It's very useful. And then that's when I sit there and I tell people, well, we use equipment to prove whatever scientifically. But I mean, even equipment doesn't work that well, because the science is going to tell you, nope, that's not, nope. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in. So I think we have to leave science out of it in a sense. And it's just, no. No.
Okay. Jerry?
Sorry, Kim. Both have, they're like hands. You have one that's spirituality. There's one that's science. You need them both to be able to get through it. Because if we're using the K2 meters, the ghost box, all that other stuff, that's basically put on science, okay? Some people believe in this, some people don't. But you also have the spiritual side where you're trying to get in contact with a spirit to see how, if they can help, and if you can receive an answer or anything from them. So, like I said, when I never believed in the ghost box, never believed in it until that one cold case that we had. And Annie said that, and it came back, and I was like, wait a minute, it was just like somebody talking. It came directly out. And then when she said, well, her family, her sisters haven't seen her since 1975, and then it was like, oh, you can kind of hear that. And then you can hear crying and all that stuff. This is happening one after the other after the other. So there is a conversation there. So is it possible that something that was, they say there's a science to that type of the ghost box to it. Science made that. And it's radio waves, and stuff. That's not a spiritual thing, but something being able to do it.
Hold on, Jerry. Just before you go deeper, the thing is, I was thinking like a panel of scientists. They don't believe.
Oh,
in
no,
anything.
that would be like, remember when we did a show, Kimberly and I used to be on the calling together.
Yep.
We did a show on psychics, and we did the thing on, that you had to be graded to be certified as a psychic. Yeah, and it would cost upwards to $5,000 to $6,000 for these so-called psychics to sit there and say, okay, well, you got to show me what you can do with this, this, this. It's like, are you kidding me? I mean, there's people have it or they don't. Kimberly, you have it. I've experienced it. Bobby Sullivan have it. Me, if I'm doing a smudging, I can read it. But other than that, sometimes things will come through. That's if I get really mad. Somebody pisses me off. If I grab their hand, I can tell them about themselves. And it's going to be something that scares the crap out of them. But you need both to be able to, if you're going to be using a K2 meter, there we go. That's science. It's supposed to be able to pick up the cool thing. The only thing I really don't believe in is what is it? The SLS cap.
SLS.
Yeah, I don't believe in that because you can't be holding it as you're going. It's got to be stationary. They claim, but yet I've noticed that if there's reflective material around, it's going to pick up on that. And that's where your little guy is going to be dancing around and stuff.
Yeah, it can pick off from a chair and then form like the legs and everything and start forming. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. You can't hold it. There's no way you can hold it. But yeah, I was thinking scientific, like scientists sit there and I don't know.
In a way that's what this is. Somebody has put together something to do that, and that is considered science.
And that's what we use. We use the equipment for that because to see if people believe it, like the recorder, so they can hear the voices, but
did you notice that they no longer put the little tag on a K2 meter, which says for entertainment purposes only? They don't do that. When it first came out, they used to put those little stickers on that. That was their claim that there's a possibility, but now they don't put it on there because it's actually, I feel K2 is one of the best things you can have, and a voice recorder. A good Sony that can hear a flea fart from over 100 miles away. No.
Right.
But not 100 miles. I was kidding. That's incredible, actually, if it was true. But no, I believe that it's a little of both.
Yeah.
Nani?
Ta-da.
Okay, yeah, good. I was like, now that I'm thinking about it. So I think I was having a hard time because, like, for me, like, Kim was thinking scientific. And for me, I was thinking science and spiritual is kind of the spirits tell us. So I kind of feel like it was a little bit of both as well, just because I know that who came up with all of these equipment that we use. People that had to do experiments to see if the science would work, right? So exactly. I feel like that's where I was kind of thinking in my head of where I was going, but also the spirits also have a part of that because they're the ones that that have to use their energy to tell us those things and to use the equipment. So for me, I think that we have evolved a lot throughout the years, and I think we're going to continue, but both have to be a part of it to continue what we're doing as well. So I think for me, it would be both because of all the newer things, the newer equipment that we have come up with. It had to be someone, right, that had to think of those things and experiment with those. So I feel like it would be a little bit of both.
Yeah. And that's a good thing when you said that, because if you remember the Mel meter, people use Mel meters because the guy who invented that lost his daughter a while back, and her name was Melanie. So he was trying to get in touch with her. Then all of a sudden he's like, and he's very much into the faith too. And he realized, or that's when he thought, this is really picking up on her on certain things that he would ask and stuff. So, that's how the Mel meter started. And that's again, it's belief and science.
Yeah, I just don't believe scientists believe in what we do.
I think
that's my thing.
Well, no, I really believe that some of them do think so. It's just they are so. If you ask Sheldon Cooper, okay, he would be
a fictional character.
Yeah, but I mean, if they did a show on that, he would say hogwash, and then he would say, maybe there's something to it,
Right.
Then he'd look at you and say bazinga, but no, I really think that I think scientists do have that in the back of their head. Some may not say it because of ridicule from their peers.
Yeah, their colleagues.
Yep.
I have a quick question though. Like you guys were talking about the SLS and that some people don't believe in that because I've used it. Our team has used it. I'm not saying it's like the greatest, but I know that, we have used it. And it's like when we have used it and we've held it steady, we have seen, like stick figures come in and they were like, well, wait a minute. There's like a wall with a ventilator or there's a chair that looks just like the chair. Like, so we do say that. But my question is, we do have a picture. I was in a classroom sitting on the floor and there's a little girl that tend to hang out in that classroom. Well, all of a sudden next to me, I will say that there was kind of a desk next to me, but there was a stick figure there. Then it came and sat on my lap. So there was 2 stick figures. It was me. And then someone sitting on my lap. And everyone was like, Nani, I'm pretty sure that's the little girl. And she came and sat on your lap. So that's like, how do you know for sure?
It could possibly have picked up something like that, but I mean, as in a whole, that would probably be a 1% to 2% thing of something like that happening. But the rest of it, I'm very skeptical on stuff. George, who was with our team, bless his soul, he's passed away, but he was the biggest skeptic of all. And he would carry, tools with him. So if somebody said a door opened and shut, he would take it apart. Well, your spring's bad, but no, just kind of looking at things and some of these electronical things. Like, I don't believe ones that are 5 items in one, or anything that goes on somebody's cell phone. No,
I don't like those apps.
No, those apps are just dumb. I mean, because you're talking about a cell phone. Even if you shut off the signal and everything else, there's other stuff that could do that.
Yeah,
we tell people not to use their cell phone apps because we're like, those don't work. But
you shouldn't really even have your cell phone on you. Maybe one person in case, like if you go into an investigation and it's dangerous, maybe one person just in case. But you shouldn't really have it.
That'll be the person that falls down, breaks his leg, snaps his neck or something.
Of course, can't get to the phone.
And then you do get to it and you turn it on and they have a security code.
Right.
True.
Do the picture at their face. Anyway, sorry, Mike. Go ahead. It's your show.
I don't know if that's actually the case anymore, but that's okay. All right. So I'm with the double, or with the both. I think spirituality is used as the initial contact. Like, I think that is what allows you to breach the curtain or the veil or whatever and reach the people on the other side. I think science is then used to document that. And if possible, create a way to make it so it's stable, that it's not so touch and go. It's not trial and error. If you think about it, and I think, Jerry, I think you alluded to this, spirits are energy.
Yep.
Energy is science.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing about it is, and to your point, Kim, about the scientists, and I mostly agree with you on the fact of how closed-minded they are. But keep in mind that scientists of the 1920s. If you showed them a cell phone, they probably, try to burn you at the stake.
Mhm.
And
That was back in the 1500s.
maybe, who knows? But the paranormal now, or the supernatural now, is just science we haven't gotten to yet. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to build equipment that is going to, in some way, it might not even be the reason for why the piece of equipment is going to do it, but is going to be able to create some sort of ability or option to actually like be able to sit down and, I don't want to say like have a conversation, but to get the answers you're looking for. I mean, let's look at the FLIR. I mean, the FLIR is built for construction purposes. Check to see if there's hot wires or whatever. Like, it has a real world purpose. The FLIR people didn't think it. I don't think anyway. I don't want to be in their heads, but I'm pretty sure that they didn't think that was going to be a great way to pick up spirits.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, somebody was like, well, hey, if a spirit is trying to manifest, it creates temperature changes. Let's take this temperature camera and point it at it. I mean, I've got one of the greatest pieces of pieces of evidence I've ever caught is from the FLIR. And I mean, so somewhere down the line, somebody is going to invent something, whether it's for the supernatural or not, that is going to be able to pick up what we are trying to do in a far more stable and repeatable way. And that's what science wants. Science, I don't think science is against the supernatural. They're against the fact that everything that we do now can't be repeated. If we're able to figure out how to repeat something, that is now going to become science. And I think we're I don't know how far in the future that is going to be, but I think it's going to arrive at some point in time. The only question I have, and I don't need any answers to this unless you really want to, if that day ever comes, should we actually do it? Like, can we do it? At some point in time, yes. Should we? It's a different question, and not one that really needs to be answered right now. Unless you guys have some really strong feelings about that, in which case I'm fine. But that's my take on it. And I'm kind of speeding it up because I want to hit this last question. But if anybody has anything that they would like to add.
Kimberly, your eyes are saying yes.
No, it's just processing. Everything is processing, because when you're listening to everybody's opinion, it's fascinating. It's really good because you're just processing everything. That's all.
Yep. You can drown out Mike's voice. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. I have some very strong feelings about this last one, which I will obviously be going last. So 2 weeks ago on the show, Jerry brought up.
It's all about Jerry today.
Well, because we have two women here, and I want their opinions on it as opposed to yours.
Sad question. Okay.
So Jerry brought up a study that I don't know who did it. I don't think you know who did it, Jerry. Like, you don't remember? I mean,
I seen it once.
Yeah, but the study came to the conclusion. Now, what was the 87%, Jerry? 87% sure?
87% of female paranormal investigators are the best in what they do compared to men. And I do believe that, though I got to say, all the different talking, all the people
should be
talking. I'm not done yet. All the people that I have had on the team, past members and stuff like that, everybody has helped us grow. So we've learned from everybody that's been in the past. So I'm not putting nothing on them whatsoever. I'm just saying that a lot of the women that we've had, I felt were the better investigator. So I have to kind of agree with that they do. My team has been amazing. We had one guy recently, not too long ago, on the team. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just shake my head. No, but I think women do make the best. They're in tune more. They think about stuff more. They just don't go jump to TV shows and say, I've seen this here and stuff. Some do, but very little percentage. Anyway, go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Well, it wasn't my turn you took, it was Kim's. So Kim,
sorry, Kim.
Here's my question. What are your thoughts, not on necessarily the accuracy or the correctness or incorrectness of the study, but just the study in general? I mean, you can obviously touch upon whether you agree with it or not, but I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, women are very in tune since the beginning, when they're young, when they become mothers, when they become wives, they are in tune into their people. They're in tune into their families. So I kind of believe that, yeah, it would be, women are probably a little bit more, but I just think there's more women investigators than there are men. I mean, I know there's some men groups, there's, and every one of them may have a woman on there. But I just think that the reason why is because women are just more in tune in the beginning. And that's where it comes from. That's where it starts. But when a man gets in tuned, he can be in tuned. It's pretty awesome when you see somebody, especially a male, that can be in tune that way. But like I said, again, that's what I believe. That's probably why that makes up more paranormal that are more in tune. So I believe what Jerry is saying in a sense. But I think, again, like, we're in tune since the beginning.
Can't hear you, Mike.
Oh, you can't hear.
Your turn, Nani. We're skipping over Jerry.
Okay. I was wondering.
Well, because you already answered out of turn.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like I can understand that study. I do feel like they always say mother's intuition, but I feel like it does go before that as well. You guys probably hear where it's like you say that women carry their grandchildren. Technically, that's true, right? I don't know if you've heard that, but that's what we've heard. And I think that that's why we're so in tune, because that's just part of women, especially with our children. We are in tune to their needs and what they need. And that's part of us, if we have some time, I just want a quick little story here. We did an investigation in a reservation where on the res where it was like an all boys school, and Wendy had me go down to where these boys showers and toilets were, and she grabbed me because I'm a mom. So there's 3 women and 3 guys on our team. And so the other woman, she is not a mom, but she is a stepmom. But she was just like, you're here, let's go with me. And I immediately started crying. And she looked at me, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I literally and I'm not just crying, I'm bawling. And obviously as soon as we helped them, I immediately stopped, and she looked over at me and she was like, you felt the shift, because I immediately stopped crying. That's part of our intuition type of thing, where it was because I'm a mom, I understand and it was these little boys that needed help. But I feel like that's part of that intuition. Not saying that guys don't have part of this, investigation, because they do. They are a big part of, investigating teams as well. But I do feel women have that more intuitive sense than guys is. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what the actual percentage is. So
see, Mike.
Okay, now it's my turn. So, I know a lot of people think that I'm somehow upset at the fact that they said women are better than men. I don't care about that whatsoever. Here is my problem with this study, and it's the fact that it exists at all. That I don't like the tags. I don't like the fact that it's female investigators and it's male investigators. That's not what the paranormal is about. We're all investigators. There are some situations where, to your point, absolutely, women are far more better suited for it. But then there's other situations where you're not, where there are men are better doing it. Men and women form one solid pact. Men have, not all, there are obviously differences, but in general, men are very grounded. They're like the steady, they're the rock. They're the very logical, not intuitive, analytical. There we go. Whereas female, they deal with obviously for the intuition, the emotion, the empathy of everything. And obviously there's crisscrossing, but what makes us a team. And I don't like the fact that somebody is trying to say females are better, just as I don't want a study out there that says men are better. I just want, something along the lines of what works better in an investigation, whether it's intuitiveness or whether it's, like a steady hand or, with the aggression. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Men are more aggressive than most females are. And there are some situations that call for it. And so, and I know you're laughing, Jerry. And so I don't.
I'm not laughing. I just never seen somebody so butthurt before in my entire life.
I'm not butthurt at all. I don't like the fact that there are tags being put on people.
Well, it's for everybody. I mean, everybody will, talk about women's side or men's side and stuff like that.
Shouldn't.
And we shouldn't, because I'll get butthurt.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I'll just say something really quick. Is that I said that there's 3 men and 3 women on our team, which is I think is great. It's perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
And like I said too, I'm not surprised that it shows that percentage, but like I also said, the men on our team are great. And I love that we have that, connection and that we have a really great team. And so, like I said, I'm not surprised of the percentage, but really, do we pay attention to it?
Really?
No,
yeah,
really.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying
whatever.
too.
I just think that I just think that there's just more women paranormal investigators. I can never find a guy that wants to do paranormal with us. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
And when we do it,
You cannot find
a little harder
in your life that would come and do an investigation with you.
Oh no, I know that, but what I'm saying is on the team, to get on the team. So we had some really great people, at one point, but
5 men.
Huh?
I said, you live in a town with 5 men.
Yeah, that's true too. That is true too.
Move to the city, that'll change.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kim, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, it is true though. In a sense, it is true. So, yeah, and there's mostly women here. So, and I don't know. Like you said, I just think there's just more paranormal investigating women than there are men teams. In a sense, that's all. I think that's what it comes down to.
Was it like that before? I feel like there was more men before, and now then women started getting into it. Isn't that what I that's just how I felt.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that's I mean, before it was, mostly guys that were doing it, and guys wanted it like that because every photo you see is like this. It's like, I always hated that. That is so stupid, It's, my favorite one is, because, but anyway, yeah, no, I think it's silly to say that one's better than the other. But
Right.
there are certain things out there that have done polls, and the polls come out with that saying. And it's, I'd have to say with my team, with the people that we've had on recently, much better. Guys are, want to be so bullish on everything and stuff. It's like, no, everybody, you're a paranormal investigator. Let's investigate, but they want the big deal, and you can't get the big deal. I don't see women, trying to pick up one of the girls or trying to pick up one of the guys on the team, but guys that have been on my team, man alive, it's like, you guys knock it off, so-and-so. And I see that with our clients too. Like I'll show up with one of the ladies and then they call back, is so-and-so, is she single? Oh my God, don't ever call here again. God, you guys have had to run into that, I'm sure.
I don't think we have. Not really. Nothing like that.
Gotcha. Well, it's just wait till you do, because then it's like that person will call back 20 times in a year. I think, that clearing didn't take. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
Honestly, I have not.
I believe them. I believe that would happen.
God.
I've had some very very attractive women on the team over the years, but I have never had that happen.
We've had that happen. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's ridiculous.
The only thing that I get from clients is, can I join your team? They're like, no.
Oh, yeah, that's the first thing I say too. Usually is like, we'll discuss it. Right now we're full up, call back next 3 years.
Is it the vibe that you get from that person? Is that what it is? That you're like, no,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yep.
no.
I have no idea, but yeah, no, that has never happened to me, and it better not ever happen to me.
Yeah, I know. It's God. It's funny because being the only male on the team, that I feel
dragging them down.
that these are what?
Means you're dragging them down. They're all better
No,
than you.
not stop that. It's just that I treat them all with respect and everything, like I would my daughter. So when it comes to that,
Right.
I take big offense when someone calls up, so-and-so is rather cute. Dude.
Yeah.
God.
That's true, Jerry. That's true. You would kind of get, because you're protecting your team. That's your team.
Exactly.
And that's probably why we don't get that too much, Michael, is because we have, maybe there is like a sense of that let's do this, but of course, Jerry must have had an experience where somebody calls. I can't believe they did that, but okay.
Oh my God, it's multiple times it's happened. It's
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
It does it. So just really quick, kind of like how we started off the show, if somebody's in your area and that's to ask you questions. Well, maybe they're dealing with something in your area and they need to contact a reputable paranormal team, which you have proven to be here tonight, or today, I should say. How would they go ahead and get a hold of you? Not even go first.
So usually our Facebook page, you can definitely message us through our Facebook page, and we'll we'll definitely reach out on there. So it's the Paranormal Investigators of North Dakota. So, or PIND, PIND. So that's easier. But yeah, that's how you can reach us, and definitely we'll respond with a Facebook message.
What was it again? Paranormal Investigator
of North Dakota.
Of North Dakota.
Yep.
Investigators or investigations?
Investigators. Sorry.
I said investigations when you originally. I thought felt bad because I thought I got that wrong.
Oh, sorry. Nope. That was me.
You can get with. So we're on Facebook as well, and you can message us instantly. So it's Cat Paranormal of Minnesota, or www.catparanormal.com. at paranormalminnesota.com, or you can even see my Facebook, Kimberly Juarez, and you can message me right off of Facebook too.
Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota, or you can just Google Sim Crew. It'll come right to us. You can go to our Facebook, Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota, website, www.siminnesota.com, or you can call me directly at 612-532-2380.
Sweet. And me, of course, which nobody ever does, but
what a baby.
Obviously, you can contact the show because I'm the only one that has the email, odysseyfilesradio@gmail.com. OdysseyParanormalSociety.com is our website. You can contact us right from the contact page there. I do not give out my number, unlike Jerry. So all the more power. Yeah, all total respect to you, my friend. I'm not willing to do that, especially after the clients you've sent me.
See, what did I start saying in the beginning?
That's what I said. Give me insane cases. I don't mind bad cases. But yeah, so obviously there's like 1,000 ways to contact me if you want to. And the team is ready and raring to go. And I have my mobile command center, which I'm dying to continue to use a lot of.
It's actually really cool what he's got there.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But it's a trailer.
We don't need descriptions right now, Jerry. We're trying to end the show.
It's a trailer.
But Nani, Kim, Jerry, thank you for coming on. Honestly, this was a really, really good conversation. I'm glad we did this. And I'm going to have to do this more often. Just maybe not with you guys.
Awesome meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Nani.
Kimberly,
Yes, nice meeting you guys.
great seeing you again. It's been a
Great
long
seeing
time.
you too, Jerry.
Yeah.
Great seeing everybody. It's so nice to get back into stuff,
Yes.
It's been a while.
That's it. That's all I got. We'll be back next week with another new episode. Hopefully Anthony will be back by then. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe. We want to see you back here. Everyone have a great rest of the weekend.